Hey everybody. Today we're going to be talking about equations. So yesterday we introduced expressions and started talking about making math expressions and simplifying them. And today we're going to talk about what happens when we introduce equations into the mix. So think of an equation like a scale. I kind of made a really basic drawing here, but in an equation, or in these scales, you might have a weight on one side, and the idea is that you have to balance that weight out with weight on the other side. And an equation works the same exact way. Okay, we have this center balance point, and we have to kind of make sure that the scale is balancing out. Well, in an equation, the balancing point, or the center point, is the equal sign. That's why an equation is called that. And everything on the left side has to balance out with everything on the right side. And that's how we can solve an equation. That's how we can sort of figure out what is happening to one side or the other. So in an equation, in algebra, we might use a variable like x. A variable is just a letter that represents an unknown number. We don't know what number that is. And so on the left side, we'll see x, and then we have an equal sign. And over on the right side, we might have some math operations like 2 plus 4. Okay? And so this is a fairly simple equation. It's what we call a one-step equation, because there's basically just one step I have to do to figure out what x is. I have to take this 2 and the 4 and add them together to get 6. And of course my equal sign and my x stays the same. So my solution for this equation is that x equals 6. Now again, that's a pretty simple one-step equation, but we also might have a situation where we have a little bit more work to do, and I'm going to show you an example of one of those. It would still be a one-step equation, but it's a little bit different. So let's again say we have x, okay? But something is happening to x. Maybe we're doing a math problem with x, like x divided by 4, and that equals 6. Well, now the variable isn't by itself, so we have to kind of figure out how to get it by itself. We have to sort of figure out what's happening to x and what we need to do to sort of undo that. So one strategy I'm going to introduce today, so we can get x by itself, is a strategy that I like to call the do and undo chart. And basically it's going to help me figure out over on the right side what my solution is. So we need to think about what we're doing to x and how we can undo that. And over here on the right in green, I'm making a do and undo chart. If we look at the side of the equation that has the variable, the left side of the equation, the left side of the equal sign, we can see that what's happening to x is I'm dividing by 4. So I'm just going to take that and write it over on the do side, because that's what we're doing to x. We're dividing by 4. And the way we undo that is we have to think about the opposite operation. Well, the opposite of division is multiplication. And the opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. We're going to keep the same number, but with the opposite operation. If I multiply one side of the equation by 4, I have to multiply the other side. Go back to that scale example. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other to keep it balanced out. Dividing by 4 and multiplying by 4 cancel each other out. Think if x was a number like 3. If I multiplied 3 times 4, I would get 12. And then if I took 12 and divided by 4, I'd end right back up at 3. So that's why dividing by 4 and multiplying by 4 cancel each other out. No matter what x is, it's going to take me to a number and then right back to it. So now I've got x by itself on the left side, and on the right side, all I need to do is, well, 6 times 4 in this case, which would give me, of course, the simple answer of 24. And now I have a solution for this equation, which is that x equals 24. And that's basically what needs to happen for a one-step equation. One method is this do and undo chart. I really like it because it helps you organize your thoughts.